All right, I'm just doing a super quick follow-up on the Baseus magnetic adapter. I got this a while back, and I've had a few people ask me if we're in fact still using it. And yes, we are still using it. So the connectors still look fine. It'll work in either direction. Get that in there. The boss's audio is turned down so you can't hear it actually linking in. Hold on a second here. So take that off. There you go, now you can hear it. So it works in either direction. And about the only change that I've made since I first installed this is I moved it back from this hole to this hole because anytime we wanted to use a thumb drive or anything, we had to take it off because when I put it here, it was blocking that hole. And normally you wouldn't be using it on this other side, in this direction anyways. So yeah, I've been pretty happy with it. That's all you have left on the machine. That just stays in there permanently. The only problem I had with this initially is that I was putting it in and it wasn't in tightly enough. It does have to, it clicks a little bit. So you push it and then it clicks. Like right now, this thing would be extremely difficult to remove. I mean, you could pull it out, but it almost takes pliers unless you've got really good fingernails, which is, I'm fine with that because we've got a second jack. So if I need to plug anything in, I'm all set there. We also changed out the cable to a non-Apple because the Apple cable that we had, because the Apple cable originally is like this, and the stresses on this part of the connector eventually ended up destroying the Apple connector, and that's why we ended up going to this magnetic one to begin with. So the OEM Apple cable was just a piece of garbage, which I can't say as I'm surprised because they're pretty lame pieces of equipment. Anyways, that's it. That's my long and drawn out version of how the Baseus is holding up after all this time. This goes through a lot of connections during the daytime because my wife takes this and she'll either be working on her glass down there, patterns and stuff, or she'll hop down on the couch, sit with the dog, watch TV, or come back up on here and then hook back up into it again. So this gets hooked up a lot during the day. It gets used all the time. So we've been super happy with it so far. I've had a couple of comments lately where people had been asking about it, or other people that were talking about it. I just had one this morning that was talking about how it didn't work for them. And I just wanted to show that ours was in fact really working. And these guys, whoops. Well, you're not gonna be able to see it now. Baseus did not pay me. This is something I paid for with my own money. So this is a totally unbiased. If it did not work, I would have told you, trust me, because I've got no love for companies that screw people over. Another thing I wanted to do some follow-up on is our LED lighting. I've had a few people ask me about that as well. Honestly, I did not think that these things were gonna last very long because they had just come out. These were actually pretty expensive when they came out. They're Cree lights. I'll put a link to the description, in the description on them. And I was so confident that this new LED technology was gonna fail that I bought an extra one. So I still have an extra one in the box up in the spare room, just waiting to be replaced. And so far I've been super happy with them. They've been doing really well. They act a little funny on the generator sometimes, but I think that's largely because my generator just doesn't supply clean enough power for them. But after, running them on generator for, I don't know, like I had them on generator for 10 hours one time, they still haven't suffered any ill effects from it, and they're still working just as well as the first day that we got them. So I'm super happy with them. They don't give like a real weird, unrealistic light, although you really can't see that from the camera. I mean, it's a nice, pleasant light. It's not like a lot of the LED lights that I was experiencing in the past that put off this really weird blue glow. So, yeah. All right. Anyways, that's kind of a double review. I don't think I've got anything else to review because, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the one last thing I will say is that I'm going to put the the link in the description to the first video that I had of these lights and my install on that, and a link in the description to the Baseus video. All right, now I'm really done talking. See you later.